In the previous episode I visit the shipwreck bay from above and Fabio teach me how to make pasta carbonara. Also had some problem with my windlass that I had to solve on my own. In this episode I'm going to Messolonghi to continue with upgrades on my boat, mounting the cockpit arch, and Gregory is giving me the grand guided tour of Messolonghi. Also had a quick tour back to Norway. B3 has a draft of 3 meters, therefore it's really important for me to stay in the fairway. But with these beautiful sceneries and sea turtles popping up, it's really hard to stay focused. Messolonghi is really different from rest of Greece, not only because of they have their own lagoon, but the architecture, the people, everything. It's really different and I just love it. Also there is almost no tourism here. By boat is probably the best way to visit Messolonghi, but a motorhome is also a good alternative. You can take a bus from Athens to Messolonghi, which takes around 3.5 hours, but the hotel facilities in this town is not that much. In the previous episode I talked about the weather that was predicted, that I was worried about when staying out on anchor. This wind with wind gusts above 50 knots arrived the very next day after, and once again prediction was wrong here in Greece. This time I did not mind because it came 1 day later and now I was tied up really well. So this evening was a really good opportunity to do the last minute adjustments to my very first sailing episode, Sailing with Thomas. So this was a new experience for me, trying to upload the episode on a free network. That was so slow, so in the end I had to use my 4G network on my iPhone. But I made it just in time to jump on the night bus to Athens. Because of high season there is no rooms available whatsoever around the airport. So that means a long night at the airport where everything was closed.
Before landing, please raise the back of your seat to an upright position. Fold away your tray table and fasten your seatbelt.
Oslo airport to my town is around 2 hours by train. I have now been traveling almost 24 hours.
Ja, men da vi ombord I Eriks båt. Og vi på vei til byen, og her det helt utrolig fint.
Approaching Tønsberg from the seaside. Tønsberg is my hometown and is the oldest town in Norway. In this town you don't ask if you have a boat, you just ask what kind of boat you have. And in this case we took Erik's boat downtown instead of taxi, because we could sleep in the boat after the concert. It was really nice to hang out with old friends again, and after the concert we continued the party on this bar at the seaside of the town. Monday morning my to-do list was quite long. I had to send the original documents of my boat to finalize the registration. Luckily I have good friends lending me their cars, so I could manage everything efficiently. Also, could not wait to visit my friends and B&B to pick up my new t-shirts with the name of my boat. The main reason for why I went back to Norway was the fact that I sold my home when I was sailing in Croatia. And one of the last things I had to do was to get rid of the stuff that I could not give away or sell. So here I am at the recycle station to deliver the rest of the things. Now my home was almost totally empty, and out on the terrace my dear friend and Dr. Frank was waiting for me because he wanted to give me a bracelet.
Litt utvalg av armbånd, forskjellige farger.
Fancy.
And my friend, he is a doctor, so he calibrated this bracelet to me after checking my pulse and my blood pressure, so to make sure that it gives the right values.
Så når du har oversikt over båten på alle mulige vis, med alle mulige instrumenter, så har du litt oversikt over kroppen da.
Det ikke dumt. Ja, men det kjempebra. Supert, altså. Gjør sånn.
God tur, Thomas.
Takk for det. Takk for det.
My goal was to only have 2 suitcases left, but I'm pretty proud to gather all the things that mean something to me after a long life in only 5 collies. Then it was time for a final goodbye to my home, neighbors and friends. And I was off to Greece again, this time with no return ticket. Last time I was really in a hurry. Dimitri, the taxi driver, delivered my boat keys to Dimitri at the marine store, where there is actually a third Dimitri. So one evening on board my boat with all these cool guys on board, Gregory came up with a solution to separate them all for me. Dimi 1, Dimi 2 and Dimi 3. My first stop was at the marine store to have a chat with Dimi 1 and to get my boat keys back. Both Dimi 1 and Gregory had looked after my boat while I was in Norway. And Gregory, which should have a tourist guide reward from Messolonghi, came to pick me up for a sightseeing.
Them.
Oh,
Take it.
yeah, I'm doing it.
Here we could see a lot of people totally grey of mud. The reason is the lake here has mud that is believed to have a health effect.
So this is...
In Messolonghi they have 2 lakes with different mud, and the other one is on the other side of Messolonghi, close to the salt production.
Walls of mud,
Okay,
you know?
okay.
And that was the one side the Turks attempted to enter the Messolonghi, you know?
Ah, really,
Messolonghi.
really.
Yes. But it's like natural fish cages, you know? Because sometimes of the year they open the doors so the fish come in the lagoon.
Yes.
And they close it, and then they just close again the doors, and they have fresh fish, you know?
Perfect.
As far as I know, there's only 2 places in Europe you can see flamingos, south of Spain and here in Messolonghi.
This is his old house.
No.
Oh,
The area his
Yes.
old house was. The house is new.
yes,
They tried to build it as it was, you know?
yes.
As a replica, you know?
Okay.
But in this area was the home. It was a small home where
Yes.
Lord Byron lived and died in Messolonghi, you know?
Gregory also showed me when and where to find sea turtles. They are hanging around the pier where the fishermen feed them every morning.
Vi ser om vi får med... You take it. Just, it's running, so just keep it running.
Okay. Where have we gone to?
It's video, it's recording.
Okay, yeah, oh, you're in there. Oh, you look very handsome.
You think so?
Yes, what a lovely sight. Okay, can I stop it now?
Yeah. Perfect.
Good.
This awesome couple had sailed from Trondheim, which is north of Norway, and all the way down to Messolonghi. As I did not need their extra fuel cans anymore, I bought this from them. And of course, we had to take photo and video, and Charles helped us out with this. Later this evening, Charles is also leaving. He is a really funny guy, and I had a lot of fun together with him the weeks I spent in Messolonghi. If I tell you the age of Charles, you will be really surprised. He's a single-handed sailor and is 82 years old. It has been a long process, but finally next morning the guys from Patras arrived. My new cockpit arch was done and it was beautiful, made in 48mm inox, 2mm thick. According to my specifications, this cockpit arch should be able to hold the solar panels during a storm. After some minor adjustments, it was ready and they could start making the holes and bolt it together. In the next episode, my friends from the marine store are mounting the panels and helping me wiring up the new energy source. My dear friend Gregory from the Port Authority of Messolonghi invites me to see their pollution exercise, also together with the volunteers and the coast guards of Messolonghi. I also was invited to Messolonghi Trade Fair. My friend from Norway, Tord, arrives and we prepare our sailing, but first we have to ride off to Medicane, which was close to be a tropical hurricane, just outside of this lagoon.
Singing my